Honey, honey! Ribs. Everybody loves ribs. Me and my bird, we like to eat ribs in bed, before and after love making. Right, come over here, darling. Here I've got some great ribs from a local Russian supermarket. Extremely cheap. All of this cost me $3.50, yo. I have trimmed off the excess fat. Very important to do. That is how much we're talking. Shitloads of fat. I'm going to do this in a sort of Chinese style marinade. It's the balance of sugar, of spice, of sour, of chili, of heat. We're going to have this big Tupperware and we're going to prepare the marinade. Crushed garlic, a tablespoon or 2 of soy sauce, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, some ginger powder, maybe a tablespoon, some dried chili flakes, perhaps half a tablespoon, some lime juice, some fish sauce, excellent salt substitute, half a tablespoon, Chinese 5-spice, the classic Chinese. This is the Chinese equivalent of garam masala. It's star anise, it's cinnamon, it's cumin. I can't remember what it is, but you want to get a nice bit of that, maybe a tablespoon there. Extra cinnamon, maybe a teaspoon or so. Some oyster sauce, about a tablespoon of that. Now comes the sweetness. So we have honey. We want a nice good dollop of honey, perhaps 2 tablespoons. It's the plum jam. The plum jam adds this lovely fruity note, a lovely sweetness, and we want a nice bit of that. So we're going to go about 4 tablespoons of that shit. You can also use other jams. We have used apricot in the past, and we've had a lot of fun with that. We stir this in. So just a quick note on the amount of ingredients. It's possible that you don't have them all. So what are the essentials? Well, I think the plum jam is an essential. I think the honey is an essential. I think the chili is essential. I think the soy sauce is essential. And the garlic. The trinity, of course, of the Chinese cooking is the garlic, ginger and chili. So in we go, in we go, in we go. Marinade, I'd say a minimum of 24 hours, a maximum of 3 days. Any more and it will start to cure the meat. These have been in a marinade for 2 days. Went for the 2-day option because yesterday me and my bird, decided to get buzzed up on some whiskey and shit, and we did not feel like eating a mountain of ribs. First of all, we're going to cook the ribs slowly just to get the meat to become incredibly tender. Then we're going to expose the ribs to more heat to get a nice caramelization on the outside. First thing I do is I just put them in this tray. I'm going to cover this with foil. Don't waste any of that shit. 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 Yeah. I'm going to cover this in foil so as not to expose it to the heat. I want it to be surrounded by the heat, immersed in the heat, engulfed, but not exposed. There is a difference. 2.5 hours at 150 degrees. Taking it out after about 2.5 hours, yeah. You can see that the bone is starting to reveal itself more. There's not enough room for them to all be exposed to the heat. So I've whacked this up. Out to a baking tray. 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 Using foil because I don't want to have to clean all the fucking shit after all the fucking shit. Ah! Knife. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ was the real swell guy. 10 minutes on this side, 10 minutes on this side. However, look at this layer of fat. If I go like this and just let the top layer of fat go into there, you can see that very little of this is sauce and most of it is fat. Just get a glass and get rid of a bit of that. This is how much fat I ended up removing. You can see how important it is to baste. Use a timer, very professional. Okay, so lovely charring on them now. They've got a lot more colour, yet they're still tender inside. One more bake. Another 10 minutes in there. Got a timer, I am professional. Right, oven off. Lids out with this lovely charring. Yet still tender and soft on the inside. And as per usual, rest. Just for garnish, let's go to the herb garden. Come this way. This is a bed. In we go, in we go, in we go, in we go, in we go. And with my coriander with the stalk, I'm using scissors here. That's actually quite effective, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then of course, sauce. Beautiful Orient. The beautiful Orient. The beautiful Orient.